Sorry, what's your Twitter?
It is at. Well, I'll follow you. Mine's a little more annoying to do.
Is it 4x4?
It is not. It is my full first and last name, Enrique Demore.
Okay. I can probably spell that, to be fair.
Alright, I just followed you.
Demore. Oh, Henrique.
Yeah. Well, definitely.
Sick. All right. What's the abbreviation for Reluminate?
What?
Is it just rel?
Oh, shit. Gotta do that.
I'll just do ReluminateGG. What are you up to?
I am doing my little retweet guy, and then should be ready to go. Good on
Don't
you.
worry. I'm ready, bro.
All right. Switch that to. All right.
Reluminated on my right, ISU on the left again. Makes
Yep.
it easy.
Easy cheesy. All right. 3, 2, 1. Welcome on in, everybody. This is it. Both these teams 2-1. A spot in the NACL OQ playoffs awaits the GSL stage. I am 4x4 back with Drake on a late Sunday or Sunday night, / Monday morning for you. But one of these teams, like us, are hoping that when this game is over, they can just go to bed. It'll all be over. Whereas the loser of this game between ISU on the blue side and Reluminate on the red side will be. We'll have one more game on the docket. They'll be facing off against another 2-2 team in this Swiss stage to make it through to the top 16 and make it in through to playoffs. Now, Drake, the last time these two teams met, they actually met in the first round of Swiss stage in NACL OQ number 1, and it was actually Reluminate that again were the lower seed and took down ISU.
Yeah, that is the case, and obviously they'll be hoping to be able to not illuminate their rooms after this game. They'll be hoping to be able to turn off their computers and repeat history. And looking at the drafts, I'm not really sure how possible that is. Obviously, Viego's super dependent on getting ahead early and then scaling really well into team fights by getting the first pick. There's a lot of pick potential with Ashe and Karma a very strong champion at the moment. I guess it all kind of comes down to Nausicaa again. We saw Nausicaa on a crazy pick last game, picking that Camille and really taking over in that game. And I think it's definitely up to him on this Bard whether he'll be able to make an impact in this game and maybe disengage some of those team fights that Viego's really trying to take over.
Yeah, I mean, Bartle giveth and taketh away, right? That is like the single most impactful ability in the game. It can just be an absolute game changer, for better or for worse. But if there's someone that I trust to pile this champion, it is Nausicaa. I think it was actually against Reluminate that, again, I think Nausicaa played the Bard. I should have gone back and checked on that one. But I remember it being something a little more kooky. But Bard has found his place back in the meta. And they're kind of fighting fire with fire here, Drake. This is a poke lane into a poke lane.
Yeah, I mean, if so, that is definitely a GigaChad move to just bring it back, even though they didn't necessarily succeed on it last time around. But obviously the teams are slightly different. I feel like ISU for sure picked up a few different players throughout the time, but obviously a couple of the repeat players definitely going to be happy to get their revenge, perhaps, or perhaps not, as we do see this early game play out. We see the Viego pathing towards the bottom lane, going to try and make an impact down there. A little bit unfortunate, as Grubs obviously will be spawning in the top side. So we'll have to see how he's able to move towards those, and Cross moving towards that top side on the Vi. Going to be able to try and look for an impact in that very volatile top lane matchup between Gnar and Yone. Gnar obviously already getting quite low, and this mid lane as well. So a lot of focus going to be on these solo lanes, in my opinion, in the early game, as we were already mentioning that these poke lanes are kind of aggressive, but I would say that obviously the nature of two poke lanes is that one will just get pushed in, as we're seeing, and one will farm relatively safely.
Yep, and so far there hasn't really been one lane kind of pulling ahead of the other. There hasn't been kind of that big all-in or that big set of trades just yet. Kafu and XD just hit level 3, so Disconnector and Nausicaa, if nothing else, are a little further ahead now. Bard, to be fair, does have that bit of XP cheat, right, with his chime. He's actually going up there. I mean, those chimes, my AD carry gets mad at me whenever I play Bard, because often I will value the chimes more than just about anything. I just, you know, I get my little ADD brain, just, ooh, chime, and there's like, dude, you can't just leave me alone in lane no matter what. But it restores my mana, it gives me XP, and it makes me happy. I like playing Bard. Vision is being pretty much dominated here early on by Kafu and Exify, or rather, excuse me, by Shimmer on the side of Kafu and Exify. So, Drake, to kind of your earlier point, if Cross is able to get to the Grubs first, but this is kind of more what I was expecting, right? Full clear, back, and then you start to see the Vision war come out here. But it's been one side dominating one side of the river, and then the red side dominating the bot side.
Yeah, and obviously you're going to see two junglers moving into the opposite jungles that are obviously warded at this point. And maybe we'll see a little bit of dynamic pathing coming out from Cross to get over that wall and push towards that dragon, maybe steal it out of vision. He obviously can dodge the vision from the wards that have been placed by Reluminate. Oh, Crusoe?
Taking a decently favorable trade there, but going pretty low there. Went Mega. Had that extra ability, but nothing doing here. Yeah, this could be, I think the word you used, Drake, was volatile. I think that's probably what we're going to get here, and given the fact that the health bars are as low as they are, it seems to be the case. Mesla was on that Zac in their win last time out over Colorado Black. I see you Black.
Yep.
And looked really, really strong on it. That was an absolute steamroll. That was really well done by
Nausicaa.
Got himself in the mid lane, but now Kafu gonna jump the damage down. Ignite as well.
Sir?
He's dead here. Yeah, Papa gets the kill there on the Azir, and Nausicaa. This is the aggression coming back to bite him.
I mean, Flash is available. I'm calling my support a Giga Troll if I'm Drew at the moment, but you know, it is what it is. As we've said a couple times this night, maybe not on stream, but it is what it is, and we're gonna have to move forward as Azir has a massive lead already in this game that he probably didn't deserve to have.
No, and he's still got the flash, still got the ultimate, still has that all-in potential. Flash
oh my goodness!
Disconnector barely gets away. That had EQ Flash ult written all over it as the Drake goes over to Shimmer.
It definitely did, and obviously that pressure that came out from, to be fair, a very expert roam from Kafu. And really well played from Papa to be able to secure that. Gnar, full engage in the top side. Surely Yone just finds his way out of this. Flash and ultimate available. But seeing this wave pushed in, yeah, so much pressure coming out. Wait.
Meslo, if he wasn't as close to the tower as he is, then maybe Meslo goes for the all-in, right? Gets the ultimate.
No.
Now. He's not gonna need it. Flashes away. Crucial with the reaction time. Meslo burns his as well. Meanwhile, the rest of Reluminate making hay in the river. But now with both flashes down, Drake, things are going to get a little bit spicier here. No TPs available for either laner as well.
Yeah, talking about spicy, I mean, Meslo is playing with fire up there in the top lane. The amount of times that I've 1v1 somebody in either top or mid, to be fair, I am a jungle main, so I'm not quite used to the new turret ranges. And, well, the ranges are the same, right? But, like, the map is slightly different.
Yep.
I'm not quite used to that, so, like, the amount of knowledge you need to have over the turret range and whether you can tank that turret shot or whether you're going to even step into turret range there is absolutely terrifying. Threading the needle there, but manages to survive and get Crusade back. So a good lead coming to the pockets of Meslo. But as I was saying, so much pressure coming out from the side of Reluminate in this bot side. Obviously dominating that Dragon Pit. They didn't get the grubs, but they have gotten the kill as well for their mid laner. And Azir is here as we speak about him.
Flashing in, gets the ult down. That is just what he does. Azir going into that full combo. Papa able to grab himself his first kill of the game. Now 2 kills very quickly over to Reluminate. The only saving grace is what you were alluding to earlier, Drake, which is that Meslo was able to get shoved in completely after that set of trades he had against Crucial's Gnar. Get himself a couple tower plays as well. Now Shimmer potentially looking to make something happen on the top side. Emma's not going to be alone for a while.
Oh,
Exiting,
no.
just ults him, flashes in, and secures the kill onto Nausicaa. In what felt like the blink of an eye, last game that you and I were casting, Drake, Nausicaa was 2-0 out of nowhere on the support Camille, and in just as quick a span of time, 0-2 on this bar.
I think he's still playing Camille in his brain, I'm going to be honest. Obviously, Camille has the E buffer for Enchanted Crystal Arrow, but maybe not realizing that he's not playing the same champion this game, and just kind of AFK for the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. I mean, Yone is doing so much damage on this top side, but... I mean, Bard has Flash available for the second time and hasn't used it. I mean, there's Papa on Reluminate, but on Illinois State University at the moment, Nausicaa's looking a little bit like Grandpa mechanics.
Well said. Meslo able to get out, but not close enough. Crucial grabbing the kill there on to Meslo. Now 4-0. Reluminate very much in control. That kill going over to Crucial. 1 for Papa, 2 for Exity. This is exactly how you want it to go. You talk about, look, the Viego's going to need those early kills to get ahead. But it's not like you're lacking damage, right? So if you're able to get your other lanes ahead, okay, right? It hurts more if the Viego is in a lane with, like, okay, a Karma in the mid lane, a Zac in the top lane, right? Things like that.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely happy to have teammates that are just one-shotting everybody, and you just need to get the assist to get the resets. So either way, you're getting the resets. So, I mean, you don't necessarily need to be the one that's ahead on the Viego. Shimmer's very, very happy to have his teammates. Literally 4-0 collectively. It's an absolutely massive lead for the side of Reluminate. And obviously, they are behind on these grubs, so I think it's up to Shimmer and how he's able to facilitate these lanes. Oh, Papa.
Combo, and he will die. Cross coming in, right place, right time. Very well done. And Drew Dozer didn't blow the ult, didn't blow the flash. Easy cheesy. Up they go to grab some Kevins.
Yeah, I think a little bit just overconfident coming out from Papa. Obviously, he has found a lot of success in this early game with his team, and just thinking he's kind of nigh unkillable. So just positions himself quite aggressively, and a really good roam coming out from Bard and Cross in the mid lane secures that kill. Should be actually 6 grubs going over to the side of Illinois State University. A good reconciliation for the fact that they have fallen so far behind in this early game originally.
You're telling me. Yeah, and so whatever picks they could get, whatever kills they're able to get, however they want to set up the map before and after certain bigger counters, right? Now you like to think that, okay, because of those 6 Void Grubs, they're able to make more hay out of that. They're able to push more towers, get that extra true damage going, get the actual little chicken tendies going as well, and really able to, yeah, to make some hay here. Dragon gonna be up in just a little bit. Oh, I'm gonna turn on the timers. Spectator. I'm not gonna hit any of the hotkeys. Otherwise, we're gonna be.
Hey, 10 seconds ish. All right. Dragon spawning in 10 seconds ish, and I mean, as you were alluding to, I think it is very important that these dragons have been picked up by Reluminate, or at least the first one, and perhaps the second one, as it does look like they have first move. It is something that I think is slightly underrated. I mean, obviously grubs have a massive impact on the game and shoving potential, as well as that facilitating more gold into your pockets if you're actually able to shove the lanes. But I feel like the team controlling this dragon side of the map does generally win out more in the trade. And I've seen that in my solo queue games, I've seen that in pro play, and I just feel like dragons do have a little bit more impact. So obviously Reluminate opting towards that, picking up the second dragon for themselves. Can't quite see what soul it's going to be, but there you go. Cloud Soul is going to be on the table. So very, very good of Reluminate to be able to pick that up, and I guess it's just going to be a battle of the two mindsets as we get towards the later stages of this game.
Yeah, it's certainly been a controversial kind of set of battle lines being drawn, right? I think people tend to over-index into the Void Grubs, at least that seems to be the kind of community consensus. But it has served its purpose in that, look, you've got an objective to trade back early on. And it's not like those Void Grubs are easy to kill, right? I mean, and it's good that they made it 3, right? You can play that little mini game of, okay, do I actually have time to take all 3? Do I only have time to take the 1, right? If I'm a range champion over the wall, maybe I can grab something going in with the fate sealed. Zanya's coming in for Cosmo, flashes away, but a very nice stun lands there from NACL.
Okay.
That Bard Q beautifully crossed, gonna grab himself his second kill of the game.
Yeah, a really good Bard ultimate coming out from Nazuka, actually playing very well with that ultimate. Obviously, we were talking about it either being a thorn in your team's side or a really large benefit, so it's good to see that he's using it well, despite a couple of misplays earlier on. Is this a dive? Surely not. This is not real. Oh!
But it's not going to matter. Flashing forward, Crucial. He's going to take down, run down with him. Meslo able to grab the kill onto Shimmer. On the other side, Disconnector and Frost going to get a whole heaping load of turret plating gold, but very well done by Meslo getting one back from that dive.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, a big shockwave in the mid lane.
And Drew Dozer gets one back. ISU punch back in a big way here. It was a little over 1,000 gold lead, Drake, for Reluminate, and now the Redbirds in the driver's seat in this one.
Yeah, they definitely needed to find that punch back, and I obviously think that it might have been a little bit of an overextension towards that top side Reluminate, misplaying that dive slightly, and I mean, losing out massively on that because they overloaded the top side, obviously. The bot lane got pushed in. You saw the amount of plates that were able to get picked up by Disconnector and Nazuka, and that play in the mid lane just beautifully executed. Papa once again finding himself just in the wrong place at the wrong time, assuming that he could... Clearly Meslo's not able to get out of this one.
Speaking of wrong place, wrong time, no flash, no ult. Does blow Shimmer's flash, to be fair. Got something out of that, but he will go down. If you gotta blow the flash to secure the kill, well, and that's what it's there for. But now, Reluminate looking to get onto the Rift Herald here. And maybe Drew Dozer, if he's unfortunate enough to step up to the river, he will be next on the menu. But 4 members is looking like coming to secure it. But on the other side, ISU rather, making things happen still, getting turret plating gold into the pocket of Disconnector. And he's feeling really good. He's going to get to that mid-game spike pretty soon here, and that's, I think, when you really want to start, put your foot on the gas if you are ISU.
Yeah, what looked like solo first turret gold picked up by Disconnector. Definitely very glad to have that in this pocket. Oh, Enchanted Crystal Arrow. There's no follow-up on the map, surely, but it definitely is showing us that the Void Grubs do have a purpose, right? They're shelling out quite a bit of money for their team at the moment. Bard? Nazuka is playing Bard like he plays Camille.
Yep, forward at all costs, has to flash away now, doesn't have the ultimate. Papa's gonna get 2 here with his Shurima shuffle there. Shimmer will go down. But how about Shimmer? Excuse me, no, that was a yeah, Shimmer got the kill there. Absorbed the soul of Nausicaa. It's Viego casting. It's tough for Meslo in some trouble here. Using the ult to get away just in case the fate's sealed.
But yeah, really good catch on the Disconnector and Nazuka. I mean, I was mentioning beforehand that Nazuka was playing Bard like he played Camille, and the thing is, he's not playing Camille. Yep. So that does end up punishing him. Or, he does end up getting punished for that, and, you know, your Viego casting, I'm late night casting, like, it's 4 a.m., give it to us, but... Yep. Either way, it does look like the dragon will be spawning in 40-ish seconds time. We'll have to see how close I was in that assumption. And players will be moving towards that very, very shortly. It looks like Crucial, Crucial has backed. Doesn't have the TP available, should just move down to contest it, I would have to assume. Oh, he's actually going to move top. So I'm curious whether we see Reluminate sack this dragon, whether we see them fight it 4v4, or because obviously Yone doesn't have TP, but he can move after shoving. It's going to be an interesting one, and I think the macro play is very, very reliant on the way that Reluminate choose to play this one.
Yeah, let's see here.
I mean, they have the vision down, right? And Nazuka, really, he can't get into her this easily.
Whether he can or can't, something tells me that's just not in Nausicaa's vocabulary. It's look, I'm going whether I can or can't. We're going to find out the consequences later. Into Corruption land there from Disconnector, but Shimmer get away, exit had the Lillian Chance of Crystal Arrow. Drew finds Crucial. Crucial has that flash, has that Meganar. He's keeping the bar at about 95, handling it pretty well here, but will transform. And now I think we're going to get a fight of brewing here, Drake. But like you said, it is Reluminate with first purchase onto this dragon. They're going to drop that Rift Herald, create another point of pressure, and force ISU to make this decision.
Yeah, and Nazuka might have to just sacrifice his ultimate towards the turret to be able to deny the Herald charge. Which obviously could mean that they lose a massive team-fighting ultimate early on into this fight. We'll have to see. It looks like he's opting not to. And the Rift Herald might just go down naturally. Yeah, it looks like it did just get taken down by the side of ISU. So ISU claim the river. And Dragon hopefully to follow. Oh my goodness, this Vi ultimate.
Cease and desist right in. Good Bard ultimate with the follow-up decision there. But the ultimate is timed extremely well by Meslo. Shutdown coming in as well from Disconnector. 2 kills. Papa gets one back onto Meslo. And Shimmer actually able to get a second one back. It's a 2 for 2
Crucial?
here. Nausicaa's in some trouble. The Crucial's going forward. Flashes forward. No ult, no problem. Grabbing himself a kill on the AD carry. And the fight finally goes Reluminate's way. 4 for 2, a double kill for Shimmer, and now they're looking at the dragon.
Absolutely massive play coming out from Crucial there. I mean, he just kept moving forward. I thought he was gonna back off at some point, but he just kept moving forward. He obviously knew that he had that karma in his back pocket, and Kafu playing very, very well to keep his Gnar alive in that fight. Shimmer getting the resets that he needed, and like we mentioned, Azir and Ashe getting ahead in that early game does facilitate these two champions so well. And this team just firing on all cylinders to be able to make that play happen. Really good of them to be able to secure that third dragon and putting a lot of pressure now onto ISU to be able to secure that fourth as the game does move more and more towards the favor of Reluminate, even though they have had a couple of missteps.
Yeah, well, and it's like you alluded to. They know exactly where ISU are going to be in about 5 minutes time, right? There's no choice for them. It's just a cloud, so fine, but movement speed is never going to hurt, right? It is a power spike that nothing else you can't afford to give over. Have to set up for that fight, try to take it on your own terms here. But you worry a little bit. There's 400 gold of dead weights kind of sitting there in the inventories of Drew Dozer and of Disconnector as well. That's the one that really stings for me because, I mean, Meslo is on an item and change, but he's going to go really, really deep, and they've got a lot of good disengage moves as well, right? Does this composition for Illuminate. You've got the Enchanted Arrow, and you've got that thing right there, the Shurima Shuffle. Meslo going to take a Wayward Tower shot. But, no, like you said, Reluminate is kind of firing on all cylinders here. Drew Dozier, tower down. He's in some trouble here. Yep, indeed he will.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of who's going to pick up the kill. Shockwave to buy his team some time, but I don't know. Maybe that felt a little unnecessary there. Maybe he thought he had something under the shield from ADR. Papa, no flash, no ultimate, not going to get Disconnector on this one.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to disconnect Disconnector from his lifeline. But he definitely had a team that took out Drew in that top side, so I mean, when these picks are going over, you have to question where the macro decisions are coming from for the side of Illinois State University, and I think obviously they're rather this pun, man, they're rather disconnected due to the fact, yeah, I know, but they are rather disconnected due to the fact that they're so far behind, and obviously it is only 2K on the gold graphs, but the turrets advantage in favor of Reluminate, obviously the dragon advantage. There's a lot of pressure on these players. And let's be honest, all of them just want to go to sleep. They want to end the night here, and it's so out of their hands at this point. Or at least it seems like it is going to be a very difficult road ahead if they are going to be able to win this one. So just slowly but surely falling apart left and right. And I feel like Drew maybe just missed up because of the pressure that's on them at the moment.
Sure, but we know that the stakes are very, very high here, right? 2-1 both these teams. A loss does not mean doomed, but one win, you are through. One more loss, and we're in dire straits. Yeah, blow everything on the Gnar there. And the rest of the team just going to TP in. Papa TPing down into the
Oh.
lane. I think there's just some miscommunication there. NACL blew everything. I thought somebody surely was going to show up. But Disconnector's doing his thing in the mid lane. Messler just showed up in the bottom lane. It's a rough one. There goes the CC chain. Disconnector cleanses out of it for nothing. Through the Edge of Night, through the Yomus, through the cleanse. Another kill over to Reluminate.
Really well played by Shimmer to be able to pick up that ADC, but he was on his own as his support died in the bottom lane. And like I said, it's just disconnection from this team. They really want to be able to find that relief of the night. They want to be able to just secure their spot in playoffs, end the night, and I think it might be a week until playoffs start. I'm not entirely sure, but definitely, yeah, just find that relief. Oh, just everybody's dying.
Getting two, and actually getting three. 2 kills going over on the other side. Meslo, excuse me, having an ult away there. Baron was started up, but they were playing for the turn. And, well, I mean, I guess it wasn't really worth it. The shutdown went over to Drew Dozier. And, yeah, it didn't feel like a worthwhile trade. The only down to 1,000, which, looking at the scoreboard, looking at kind of the rest of the way the game has shook out, especially over these last 10 minutes. If I were to tell you that Illuminate was only up 1,000 gold, I don't know if you believe me.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because it looks like Illinois State actually have a couple advantages on the map, and obviously winning out in that team fight, only losing 2 members, killing 3. Some things are definitely going their way, but Reluminate just feel like they have control in the team fights themselves rather than just on the map. Obviously, they are a turret down, but the Dragons should tell a very different story. These team fights are so well coordinated with the champions, right? Azir wombo combo with Gnar ultimate, with Viego playing off of resets, with Ash Karma just supporting those champions throughout the fight. It is just so hard for the side of Illinois State University to play in these team fights, and it's so much harder of a team comp to execute when Vi really can't one-shot anybody on the enemy team.
No, it's really tough, and the gold is spread pretty evenly as well, right? He has got 4 kills, 6 kills for Shimmer, 5 for Papa. He's not going this tank Azir build or none of that. He just wants full damage, straight up. I'm going to melt through anyone that comes even a little bit too close to me.
They're gonna trade?
They're gonna trade this, so Cloud Soul for Baron. Well, that one's going down a lot quicker than the other, Drake, and
yeah.
now Reluminate calling their bluff here. I don't know about this. Enchanted Crystal Arrow's going out. The stun lands are on.
No.
He's got to be the sacrificial lamp. Flashes over, tries to take a magical journey, finds himself to safety, but the rest of his team might be left for dead here. They got the Baron. They were able to secure it, but at what cost? Bodies falling left and right. The house has fallen, and under the heap of rubble is ISU. At least in a matter of time. Cross goes down as well. Only 2 members survive with the Baron buff. That's Meslo and NACL.
I don't even know if NACL survived. I think he might have died really early on. No, he did. Okay. So it is going to be 2 Baron buffs making it out of that one. And I guess it's making light of a really rough situation and finding something off the back of that. But NACL doing what he does best, playing the bait and finding some sort of disengage for his team, being able to get 1 person out of that pit alive. But it's an absolute massacre on our screens. Cloud Soul already picked up at 24 minutes. Elder Dragon going to be spawning in a few minutes' time. It's just, it feels like such an end game position at only 24 minutes. I swear League of Legends has started to accelerate so much lately.
Yeah, it certainly feels that way. And we'll see how that changes in the upcoming patches. But in the meanwhile, man, Reluminate are making it look good. All gas, no breaks from them. And NACL, man, I mean, he threw down the Ignite in that last chase, trying to get Crucial down. Talk about all gas, no breaks. It hasn't been his best game at all, but I don't think we can lay blame, squarely at his feet. But it does feel like he has been just at the forefront of a lot of these kind of high-profile picks. And when you are an Enchanter support, you just kind of have to be more careful, right? It feels like at times he's on, and you talk about the disconnection. Tongues be damned. Sometimes it just looks like NACL's not on the same page, right? And that is your way to start fights often, right? I mean, Cross, yes, he's got the ultimate, but outside of that, Bard can provide a lot of very valuable stuff.
Yeah, and it is not only Bard, right? It's also just the player himself. We saw in the last series that they played, or last game that they played in OQs, NACL was somebody that they turned to for these engages, for these picks, and really found a lot of stuff over the walls on Camille, right? And I feel like he's playing similarly on this Bard. It's just, like you said, a slight miscommunication in a lot of these fights. Maybe Nazca not communicating exactly where he was looking for these meeps, perhaps. Maybe he was going on a couple of magical journeys that he didn't tell his friends about. Meslo, though? Doesn't quite get Gnar.
Looking to make something happen against the ult down. The shield. Oh, huge shutdown there from Meslo. Somehow turns the fight. Papa gets the ultimate down, but the ult from Nazca's going to buy it.
No.
Time Cross still might be left out to the world here, and indeed he will be. Big ol' shield from Kafu's going to keep himself alive, but it's a 2 for 2. The fight is on even terms for now. Nazca going to take the magical journey over the wall. Kafu shielding up Crucial, and that will do it. Crucial grabs the kill out of the bar. Blast coding to safety is Meslo. But ISU get torn apart. Now the gold lead starts to grow just a little bit here, up to 3,000 for Reluminate.
I mean, Crucial is absolutely massive this game. 7-0 and 6 is this Gnar. 700 gold shutdown on his head. 3 items already. Has the Ninja Tabby. He's not taking any damage at the moment. And if Oriana gets blown up at the beginning of these team fights like she has in the past few, that story will remain the same. So as we inch closer and closer to this Elder Dragon to a final end game buff, it does get scarier and scarier for the side of Illinois State University when they haven't even shut down certain members of the enemy team yet in this game.
Nope, Crucial completely deathless on this Gnar. 3 full items and then some. I mean, looking really, really strong, like you said. 13 of 23 kill participation as well. And everybody's just getting in on the action, right? We talked about how important it would be that Shimmer starts to get going. And look, he didn't really have the best early game, but everybody else was feeling just fine. And like you said, once you get in there with the assists and get the snowball rolling in the individual team fights, Drake, man, Viego becomes so difficult to deal with. And look, 3,000 gold lead. They've got the Void Grub still, right? We haven't talked about that in a while because it really doesn't feel like a lot has gone in ISU's favor. But they've got the Void Grub, so it leads into the fact that even though they were ahead, or they were down just a little bit ago, they were up a tower, right? They have the ability to make things happen. Should they get a fight that they like? But right now, Shimmer is just bullying Drew Dozer in his own jungle. 8 kills now for the Ruined King. Drew Dozer did not blew the flash. That was Shimmer that blew the flash. Excuse me.
Yeah, but either way, like you were saying, if they get to choose the fights that they want, but well, it doesn't look like ISU is choosing any of their fights, and Shimmer making it very clear that he chooses the fights on this rift at the moment, and it looks like his entire team will be choosing to fight the enemy base as they knock on this Nexus turret, or on this inhibitor as well, and just move back towards that Elder Dragon spawning very shortly. It is just back and forth over and over. They keep securing kills and moving towards these objectives, and I mean, they have not lost a single dragon this game, and I don't think they're intending to lose this next one.
No, absolutely not. Aside from the 6 Void Grubs, they've pulled every other new objective, got the Herald, and they're on the doorstep, like you said, 29-minute and something. Elder Dragon. Yeah, the Elder Dragon spawned before 30 minutes. Something went horribly wrong, or horribly right. We've asked, and things certainly got right here for Reluminate. Again, looking to make it the NACL OQ 2-0s here. Or rather, make it to the 2-2 or 3-1 round, right? So qualification, but try to do the double, if you will, to borrow a British term, over ISU in these 2 open qualifiers.
Yeah, they definitely are, and obviously ISU are not necessarily in the worst position. This is a weird strategy that I have developed back when Elder Dragon first came out. Actually, just hold that. We're about to watch this unfold in front of our eyes.
ISU trying to sneak it here. Papa will have no part of that. Goes into the Shurima Shuffle. Tempered Fate. Gonna buy someone sometime somewhere, but the fight is on 3 different fronts now. 1 on the pin, 2 on the other side.
Okay.
Cross, able to get it. Do ISU have enough here? They've got a lifeline. Disconnector able to get in and win a couple fights here. Disconnector just autoing Exility to death, and it's a 5-for-0. ISU, or 5-for-3, excuse me. They got it. They swiped the dragon, and it might have left. It kept them in this game.
I mean, incredibly well played from Cross and Meslo to be able to balance that dragon damage and time it very well to be able to secure it with the smite from Cross last second. And obviously Varus doing a lot in that fight. Disconnector managing to nearly finish off a few members, and Elder Dragon just pushing that slightly over the edge to be able to secure those kills. And this is actually what I was trying to mention beforehand. It was a strat that I developed when Elder Dragon first came out. And all of my mates told me I was literally just trolling. But you let enemy team, if they're already at 3 dragons or 2 dragons and you think you can outplay them in team fights, you let them get the Dragon Soul, and then you're in a position where you can just take Elder Dragon in front of their faces and then win every team fight moving on. obviously it worked for them here. It's not a surefire way to play the game, and it definitely was very, very close to not working out. But hey, the strat worked, and they're definitely in a little bit more of a commanding position. Gold nearly even, and they can definitely fight this Baron moving forward.
I think that to me is the most remarkable thing is that, you know, that fight gets to a degree that now ISU is ahead for the first time literally all game. Because he started off with 4 kills on the spin immediately for Reluminate. ISU now looking for his Baron, trying to get their second straight neutral objective, right like you said, in the faces of Reluminate. They're not going to contest at all. They have nothing here. No Gnar to ult in, no TP to get out to close the distance. It's just back-to-back neutral objectives here for ISU.
And I mean, you can't contest, right? Because obviously Yone and Bard made it out with that Elder Dragon still available to them, so you're not really able to fight them in a full 5v5 just because of that Elder Dragon itself. By the way, just quick shout out to Smolder. That champion is so broken. The fact that this champion is allowed to have Elder Dragon that early on in the game, and this is the impact of 2 members of your team having Elder Dragon, that they just win team fights from then on. Like, Bard, by the way. Yeah, exactly. Like, either way, bearing down on the enemy base now, it's just an entire flip from the way that the state of the game earlier on.
This is incredible. Yeah, just an absolute flip. Now 3,000 gold up. ISU.
Oh!
Those are going to eat him. Crystal Arrow. Nausicaa, beautiful flash forward onto Crucial, preventing the Gnar from getting in and potentially ulting a few members of the ISU Redbirds into a wall here. Now Meslo moving forward here, going to take down the artificial turret here.
It's going to be a fist fight.
Yeah, it's going to be a rock fight, absolutely, in the base here. Pull goes out.
Oh!
Crucial looking to get in and get closer. Now Cross is going to get kited to death. He goes down. Exit the dumping arrows into the back of the ISU jungler. And now they're running with the tail between their legs. Everybody get in, loser. We're going back to blue side. Shiver goes forward, flashes forward, now gets the ult down. The Heartbreaker might be the start of a chain reaction here for Shiver. Gets the soul unbound, goes forward, gets hoovered back by the second half of the Yone. Papa going forward, gets the root down. Papa making hay, gets the damage to go forward, doesn't even need the ultimate, but he will get it from Disconnector. And the fist fight in the base goes completely wrong. A mistimed engage, got a little too big for their britches, and now
GG?
Wait, I think this is GG. Yeah, the
ReluminateGG?
Oh my goodness, dude.
I can't believe it. They actually just won the game off the back of a random team fight, even though they were literally having their Nexus turrets knocked on by the enemy team. Illinois State University nearly bringing it back from the depths of hell, but it looks like they're actually just going to lose off the back of a slight overextension.
That is the way the cookie crumbles. To be fair, it kind of felt like it would have been an unjust result on the
100%.
If somehow ISU pulled that out. Remember, the only reason they got to a point where they were staring down the Nexus was because of an Elder Dragon steal. Right now, it was a gutsy call to go for it in the first place, right? To just start it up kind of in their face. They say, all right, look, you want this, you're going to have to take it from us. A fight was started on 3 fronts, mass chaos broke out, and Cross was able to be the hero and get the kill, but then just went a little too far forward, not really communicating with Meslo, and he was the one that went down, just got kited into oblivion, and then Reluminate ran it into the base.
I mean, insanely well played by Reluminate, right? They just had utter control of that game until the Elder Dragon spawned. So really well played by them, and being able to just muscle up in the last few seconds of the game, really secure that win, even though they did show a little bit of a hindrance. And Illinois State University is still looking strong, right? That's really good looks from them in the later stages of that game to be able to just say, you know what, we can still 50-50 this game. The game is still winnable. They did get a little bit overconfident near the end of that, but it is good looks moving towards the later stages, right? They have one more game to play to determine whether they can actually make it to playoffs. So I'm very happy to see that this team still has some sort of like a mental intact, but it does look like Reluminate are going to be the ones turning off their lights for tonight.
Yep, they're going to be done for the night. Like you said, ISU still looking really strong, but it is do or die for them. They have one more game left. If they win it, they move on into the playoffs, into the group stage. But if they lose, it is night-night for them. That's going to do it for us on the Running the Rift stream. Drake, thank you, fam. Get some sleep. You're over in the UK. It is 4:20 right now. 4:19
yeah.
for you. I hope you can
Blaze
get some
it.
sleep. Yes, however you want to get some sleep, you've earned it, my friend. For everyone involved, I've been 4x4. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.